Hello! Alright. Okay, today, Soldo at home again. We're stuck indoors again. Of course we're stuck indoors. We're going to be stuck for ages, but okay, right. So today I'm going to show you how to make a sourdough. So I've got a starter going. I've had a starter going for years, but I can tell you how to quickly make something like this. With regards to the starter, what you need is equal amount of water and flour, and then you need some organic yeast. So how I started mine ages ago was I got flour and water, so like 100 grams of each, and then I got some grape skins. And I got some grape skins, or you can use a little bit of apple skin or something like a natural fruit that gives off yeast. And basically you sort of put it together and you leave it for a little while. I look it up on the internet as well, but basically you let it go, you let that natural yeast start fermenting, and then it starts to create like a living thing. This is like a living thing. This is like, I love my children. This is the one. Yeah, basically, you just let it keep going, and then you stir it, and then after a while it starts getting bubbly, and then you just keep adding the equal amounts of flour and water, and you keep gradually doing it over a few days, and then keep gradually doing it. So it's like a child. You nurture it at first until it's sort of a bit more grown. Now my starter, I feed it every day if I'm not around. I normally, if we would be working normally, I'd be traveling a lot with work, so I then put it in the fridge, and then I come back, and it takes like a couple of days to get going. Get it out of the fridge, and then you need to like get it going again. It sort of goes for a little like hibernation, but yeah, this is great. You can keep it going for ages, and you've always got it there, and you can use it for pizza, for bread, whatever. So we're going to make a sourdough with this. I'll show you a simple way. People are running to the supermarket now and be like, oh no, I need no flour, no yeast. If you have some flour, good for you, well done. If you don't have any yeast, this is yeast. You've got to just try and make it yourself. It will take a little while, but we've got a long time. Might as well get on with this. Okay, right, so I'll show you. I'll start putting the ingredients together, and yeah, we're preparing it. Okay, by the way, I'll tell you, it's like 7 o'clock at night. So it's like 7 o'clock. The kids are watching Frozen 2 again every night. So I'm doing this at 7 because I got my kids. So I'm doing it, I'm prepping it, and then I'm going to leave it for 3 hours. Then I'm going to come back, shape it, put it in the basket, put it in the fridge, bake it tomorrow morning. So nice and easy, not like having to do it in the same day, wait around, do it night before, wake up in the morning, bake it, fresh bread all day, sandwiches, toast, cheese on toast, feed the kids all day long on one loaf of bread, do it again, easy. Okay, here we go, ready? Okay, I'll point you down. Okay, so, bowl on the scales. 0, yep. Flour, if you're lucky enough. Okay, whoa, we need some more. Luckily, I have this mug that says, ready, steady, super ready. This is me jumping off a cliff. As you can see, I jump off and do a Superman. Didn't end very well. Whoops. Oh well. So what I'm going to do on here is I'm going to put 470. Basically 470, because I managed to get a local mill to me, does some organic home meal, so a local mill. So I'm trying to reserve my white flour as well, but I don't really like a whole meal sourdough, the whole thing. It'll be a bit tough, it's not really my cup of tea, so I just add a handful. So just gives it a nice little bit more texture, gives it a slightly deeper taste. A little bit of both, but I say you only put like 30 grams of this in, and 470 white. I'm using like actually a 00 flour, because I use the same flour for my pizza. So I mix it all up. Next thing is a sip of wine, of course. Then I get a pestle and mortar. You don't have to do it like this, but I use Maldon sea salt, so it's a bit coarse. So then I use 10 grams of this. About 10 grams of this, don't. And then I also use some Demerara sugar, whatever. 10 grams of that. So I put 10 grams into a pestle mortar, just so I don't get those lumpy bits in my bread, or it takes a long time. They will dissolve eventually, but what I like to do is I just like to pestle mortar and get it really fine, so it's really smooth. Okay. See? So it's just really smooth. So then you put it in one side of the flour. So I divide it and put it in here, and then I cover it, and I push all the flour over the salt and sugar, and leave the area here that I'm going to put the water. Okay, so then you get your water again. So what you're going to do for water, again, this is my little tip. What I do is, because you want to make it lukewarm, but you do not want to use warm water. It's not good, it's hard, it's got other stuff in it. So basically what I do is I boil up the kettle, and I put about, you need 250 grams, so I put about 180 cold, and then I top it up with hot water from the kettle. Just run the tap for a bit. Make sure run the tap. Oh, sorry, hang on a second. Run the tap for a bit, so you're not getting like the hard water. You're trying to get rid of it. I mean, it depends where you live, isn't it? It depends where you live. Okay. And we're taking this. 250. I'm a little bit over there, but I like to give it a little splooge. Take a little bit out. A little bit more out. Hang on a sec. Okay, cool. So that's it. Right. Pour it into the little well. See? I've got like the little bit on the side here. So then the water is not touching the salt or sugar. Put this back on the scales. Right, and then you get your starter. So if you look at your starter, can you see that? Yeah, all the bubbles. That's when you know they're excited. Like, you know, when you're going out, you know, you have a few bubbles and you get excited. So when you're excited, you start bubbling. Everything starts bubbling when it's excited, including your starter. Okay, right. This is a good sign. So I fed this yesterday. So how you're gonna do is feed it. I basically I add like about 40 grams when I'm gonna use up most of this now, and then I put about 40 grams of flour and water just to tick it over to keep it going, and then the day before I need it, that's when I load it up. That's when I stock it up, like, you know, like athletes, carbo load. I just like crank about 100 grams of flour and water in there, and it suddenly like boosts it up and gets all bubbly. That's what you need. That's what you want. The bubbles in the bread. You got the more bubbly your starter is, the more airy and bubbly and lighter your sourdough is. Okay, here we go. So then we're gonna pour 300 grams. Oh my God! Oh, look at that good stuff. They're like gooey. Look how gooey it is. Something rather satisfying about using this. Okay, I've gone slightly over. Doesn't matter. This is the good stuff. As you can see, look, I've used up most of it now. So there is still some in here. So there's enough there that now I'm going to just feed it another. And then what I'll do is I'll feed this another 40 grams of flour, 40 grams of water now, just to keep it going basically. Okay, here's my starter on here. So I said I'm just going to give it 40 grams. Right. 40 grams of flour and 40 grams of water. So then this you see there's flour in the water and you just mix it together again. Just keep mixing it. Whoop. I'm gonna watch what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. Mix it up, mix it up. Alright, here we go. So you see it's really thick. So before it was quite bubbly and a bit more liquidy because it was all excited. Now it's like a pancake batter. Oh, we've been having pancakes as well at the moment. Oh, good stuff. Love pancakes. Shouldn't eat too many pancakes with maple syrup first thing in the morning though. Woo! There you go. Making our kids go crazy. Right. So back to this. So what I'm trying to do is I'm not trying to bring in the salt and the sugar straight away, because salt actually kills yeast if it reacts to it straight away. Once you started mixing, it's fine. If you mix it in a mixer, you can sort of just bung it in. If you mix it by hand, you want to try and keep them separate. Some people dissolve the yeast in water first, or dissolve the salt in water first. I just put it to one side under the flour and then start mixing, and then gradually incorporate it, and it's fine. It saves time, it saves messing around, to be honest. So like I scoop it up from the side, as you can see, and just sort of keep scooping it, like you would do in a mixer, basically. And just getting a bit more flour, just incorporating it in. I use one of these lovely little scrapers. You can use a wooden spoon, or spatula, or a credit card, anything you got. I mean, you're probably not using your credit card much at the moment, so go for it. Okay, once the yeast and the flour have had contact with once the yeast, the starter and the water have had contact with the flour and it's made it, then it's okay to start introducing all the salt and sugar. So you just do it gradually. Then you can do this in your mixer. Okay, and then now we start going all the way around the bowl. It's like a mixer action, What I do is sort of like mix and fold, mix and turn it over. Works well. Do whatever you want to do. Just mix it together. Okay. Scoop it around. Just keep folding it over, getting all the last little dry bits of flour and stuff. So you want this bowl to be pretty clean. And you scoop it out, pop it down. And you can see, look, the bowl's pretty clean, it's not too sticky. Put it to one side. This is the messy bit. You will get messy. But it's good. You fill the bread. Put some love in the bread. That's the reward. Tomorrow morning, your family or your friends or your flatmates or whoever you share this bread with, or just by yourself, you'll be eating the bread and you'll know. You know you put that love into it. You know. You'll be like, oh, God, that tastes so good. Why does it taste so good? Because it's got love, it's got time. Okay, so then you can be a bit mean to it. Everyone's like, oh, you've got to be delicate. You don't have to be too delicate. So I'd roll it around, start mixing it up, roll it around. You want to get your scraper still, and you scoop scoop it all up, give it some wax. Oh no, man, my hands are so messy. It's alright, scoop it up, fold it over, ready? Then when you're ready, you start whacking it. Like that. Pick it up. Smack it, pull it, stretch it up. Yeah. I hate coronavirus. I hate it. Can't believe my kid didn't say thank you for his sandwich today. Why did I have to stub my toe on the stairs? God, this sucks. Ugh. Scoop, 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 scoop. Scoop, scoop. And then it starts getting smoother. And then you start relaxing again and start thinking happy thoughts again, and your bread's all smooth and it's soft and you're all happy. You gotta have a bit of a whack there. You got out a little bit of aggression, and now you're happy. Okay, see, now it's nice and smooth. It's a little bit sticky still, but you know, you keep rolling it over until it's slightly smooth. What I do, you can carry on going, and you can carry on going and going and going until it's nice and smooth and it's a bit drier. But this is what I do. The best technique is just leave it. You just leave it now for say 10 minutes. Come back. I mean, surely you have things to do. 10 minutes, loading the dishwasher, unloading, wiping down the table from your kids because they just spill everything. They can't eat properly. Pour yourself another glass of wine. You know, there's loads of stuff you can do for 10 minutes. Okay. See you in a minute. I forgot to say, cover it. What are you doing in your 10 minutes? I'm being nagged to cut a Gruffalo label off. Probably what you're doing, right? That's what everyone's doing. Come on in, come here. Let's do this. And sit up there. Gruffalo! Okay. I'm just cutting the label off, don't worry. Hi everyone, I hope you've had a nice 10 minutes. Whatever you've done, 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it doesn't even matter. Like, you know, because it's with the sourdough, it's such a slow process. You can take your time. You got to put the kids to bed. Sometimes I mix it up, then put the kids to bed, then come down and fold it again, and then watch some TV, chill out, do some cleaning or whatever, and then I fold it, put it in the basket just before bed. It's just like a slow process. Some people are like, oh, you got to do it here every half an hour. Blah, blah, blah. You don't really. I mean, maybe to make the perfect loaf of bread, but to make bread that fits in with your schedule, to fit in with what's going on, especially at the moment, just make it easy on yourself. So you fold it up and then come back as and when you have. I think I've been about like 10-15 minutes. So here it is. You see, it's still a bit sticky, but it's more relaxed. So I can pick it up. I can pick it up nice and easy, and it's not so sticky anymore. It's not making my hands sticky. So then what we'll do is we'll do that fold again. So we'll slap it down, stretch it out, and fold it over. Down, fold it over. Down, right. And when it gets like this, you just move it round the edges, like moving it, I don't know, move it round the table. Take it for a walk. That's what I was taught. Take it for a walk. Yeah. Okay. Now it's even drier, and you can start seeing some air bubbles in it. This is what you want. You want to get the air bubbles. It shows the things are happening, things are starting to work. So again, I'm gonna like fold it a few more times, hang it down. Don't worry, you can be pretty rough with it. Okay, scoop, scoop, scoop. Okay. Yeah, so I got my air bubbles. Right. That's all it is. And now, cover it again. Sometimes I put it in the bowl with a bit of olive oil and then cling film it, but I'm trying not to use so much cling film anymore. It doesn't matter, you know. Like, I mean, the olive oil doesn't do loads. It just helps you really get it out the bowl a bit easier. It might add a little bit to the texture. Like olive oil, when you add olive oil to bread, it creates a little bit more of a crunch sometimes on the crust. But bit here and there, you know. So this is what I do. I just leave it now. It's on a wooden surface, and I can easily scoop it up afterwards. And now I'll wait. I'll go and watch the end of Frozen 2. I mean, watch the end of like something cool, and then put the kids to bed. Come down, hang out, drink some more wine, and then in about 2 hours, I will put this in the basket. I'll show you that again. So basically, I started this about 7. Now it's about 8. Kids are zonked. Like, I'm gonna go and help out do that, and I'll come back in a bit. Cool. Okay, it's been nearly 3 hours. So yeah, basically, you just have to wait. Just leave it there for 3 hours. Do your own thing. Quickly pop back to it and put it in the basket, and then put it in the fridge. I'll quickly show you how to shape it and how to put it in the basket. Simple, simple, simple. Okay, so it's under here. Nice and smooth. Okay, nice and smooth. Air bubbles, not sticky. Okay, so get your basket. Mine's already got a bit of flour in there, so I'll just show you. Put a bit more flour in and smooth it around. You can put this in a tray. I mean, like a tin. You can put it in a bread tin if you really want to, and make like a square or rectangle sourdough. Or if you've got a basket like this, or yeah, I guess you sort of really need some sort of basket. I also put a bit of semolina in there. Semolina is like sort of like a sand. It's obviously like wheat. It's a coarse wheat, but it flour absorbs some moisture, so it can sometimes stick. So using a bit of semolina, it just helps free it up. So tomorrow when we tip it out, it's gonna be it's just gonna come out a lot easier. Okay, there we go. So scoop it up. You can see, nice and clean. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna just open it up. So what I do is I just open it up a little bit like this, make it a bit flatter. So you don't be too rough with it now. Make it nice and big, don't be too rough. Now you want to sort of be a bit more gentle. And then just fold it in. Press it down, fold, press, fold the other side in, and the other side. Just fold it up like a parcel and tuck all the sides in. Maybe a little bit of flour down there. Free it up. And then I just shape it around. So you can see all the sides. I sort of push them together so there's no gaps. And then they'll slowly just prove and sort of fill in those gaps. Some of it might blow out when you cook it, but again, it doesn't matter. We're not trying to make the most perfect looking one. We're just making it nice and easy. So then you put it seam side up, because in the morning we'll turn this over onto the baking tray and the peel. So we'll turn it over so you leave the seam side at the top and the smooth tight side on the bottom of the basket. Now what we do, a little bit of flour on top, just to stop it from sticking to the bag, or cling film, whatever you want to do. What I've started doing recently is I just get a bag and reuse it, and just give it a little wash out. Instead of, I used to use cling film, but now I put it in the bag here. Just put it in the bag, give it a twist, tuck it under, it's neatly in the bag, and then I'm just going to put this in the fridge. I'll put it in the fridge until tomorrow morning, and then in the morning I'll show you how to tip it out and we'll bake it. Woo! Okay, good night. Morning! Woo. Okay, hope you all slept alright. Okay. Kids watching some TV, had their breakfast. I turned the oven on. First thing you do when you wake up, come downstairs, turn the oven on. If you have a baking stone, put the stone in. That takes nearly about an hour really to sort of really properly heat through. Or you can use a baking tray. So just today I showed you just how to use a baking tray, because most people got a baking tray. So you get the biggest baking tray you have, turn it upside down, put it on the shelf, turn the oven on. It will heat up a lot quicker than the stone. It still works pretty well. The stone's really useful because it holds on to its heat, so you can always cook the bread, bake the bread later in the day, and then the stone will hold the heat in the oven, so then you can use it to cook other things. But we're not cooking for a while. It's in the morning. I want a bacon sandwich, so I've got to get some bread. Okay, so bread is in the plastic bag. Got some background noise today. So you can see it's proved, you can see it's puffed up a bit more to nearly fill the basket. And then what I do is I give it a little shake like this just to free up the sides. So the semolina really helps it, otherwise sometimes the flour it sticks. A little bit of semolina really helps it come off. I'm going to tip it out onto my peel. You can use any wooden chopping board or any sort of board really, but what you need is going to need to flour it first. Oh, hang on a sec. Oh, hang on a sec. Yes. Yeah.
Are you making some pizza rolls?
I'm not making pizza rolls today. That was the other day. I'm making bread today. Look. Hey, look. Hello. Hello. Okay. So what I do is I get a little bit of flour again, put it on the board. You can put this on any board. Just a little bit of flour. So I'll be drying out, and then I get some semolina again. This stuff is really, really useful. So, just put a little light dusting on there. This will help the bread slide off nice and easy. So you mix it around. Okay, then this, just before you put it in, you need to think about getting either like a little jug of water or some ice cubes. Put a little dish in the bottom or another tray in the bottom of your oven. So when you put the bread in, you... Okay, as you can see, it's the morning, some people aren't watching telly. Go back and watch Robin Hood. Go back and watch Robin Hood, I'll be in a sec. Go watch Robin Hood. Show Rosie Bill Gills. Okay, as I was saying. Yeah, so you try and like, you can fit this around the kids, see? Kids just watching that, you quickly turn this out. It's normally a lot quicker. Right, okay. So, you get this, turn it out, nice and easy. Get your knife, cut any sort of pattern you want. I like to cut like a grid, a square, I'll show you. And then you put it in the oven nice and quick so it doesn't, at the moment it's tough. And as soon as you cut it, it's going to start opening and flattening out, so you want to put it in the oven quick. I've already got a dish in the bottom oven, so I'll show you some stuff. Okay, ready? Here we go. So then I put one big cup, turn it, and then big nice cup. So you can see it starting to open up. Okay, so you can see it's starting to really open up. So we want to get that in the oven now. Okay, so I've got my ice here, block of ice that I'm going to just chuck in. Okay, here we go, ready? You put it on the baking tray, it should slide off nice and easy. Give the ice in the dish, bish bash bosh. Close the door. You should do that as quickly as possible. I also have mine set as high as it can go. So, oh, I can't really see it. But basically I set it as high as it can go for 10 minutes. And then, because our ovens can't go so hot, they don't hold it like a big pizza oven or a stone oven. So the air's rotating, so you want to have it as hot as you can because you're putting a very cold lump of bread in. Hang on a sec. And then once you do it, after 10 minutes you can turn it down to 220, but have it as hot as you can for the first 10 minutes because that cold bread will suck some of the heat and you want to get a nice crust. Okay, I'll show you in about 35 minutes once I pull it out. Bye. Okay, beep is done, time's up, just in time for old Joe Wick's workout. Okay, it's hot. Woo! Lovely and brown, and how you know is you tap it. When it sounds nice and hollow, got a nice crust. It's exploded a little bit. Hasn't quite gone so round, but it still looks yum. So this is homemade, easy sourdough. You can just make it, you make it up the night before, fold it just before bed, wake up, and you do it. Bish bash bosh. Yeah. Cool. Good luck. Now that's what you're looking for, see? All the air bubbles that were in the starter. Make it nice and airy. You get nice airy bread with a nice crust. Yummy!